Why should you binge watch Star Trek? You'll find out right after this. Hey everybody, I am Taylor from Beard vs. Geek, where I show you it is okay to be a man and a geek at the same time. About a week or so ago, my buddy Gary over at Trekkerprise made a video called 3 Reasons Why You Should Not Binge Watch Star Trek. Well, like most friends and YouTubers, we don't always agree. So, here's 3 reasons why you should binge watch Star Trek. Let's start with number 1. There is so much Star Trek. Gary recommended doing 1 episode a week, which, is how it came out, and I guess that's how it was supposed to be seen before the invention of the internet, Netflix, and binge watching. Well, let's see how that would work out. If you were to watch 1 episode or a movie each week, there is 79 original series episodes, 178 Next Generation episodes, 172 Voyager episodes, 176 DS9 episodes, 98 Enterprise episodes, and 13 movies. All of which comes to 716 weeks of watching 1 episode a week or 1 movie a week. And if you were to do that, it would take you a little over 2 years to watch every single Star Trek episode and movie. Plus, in that time, Discovery's going to come out, so that's going to add more episodes to your long list. There is over 546 hours of Star Trek total. And if you were to watch nothing but Star Trek 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, it would take you 23 days in order to watch it. Well, if you binge watch it, and not like the 23 days straight way, which is, it's just insane. You'd probably die of exhaustion. But if you were to binge watch a couple hours here, a couple hours there after work, or, maybe take a long weekend, then you can significantly decrease that 2-year time period. Reason number 2, you get the overall story and adventure a lot more clearly than if you were to watch 1 episode a week. Now, let's face it, all of these things, the TV series, the movies, they have an overarching plot, especially the movies because they're more confined. But within 3 out of the 5, especially TV series, and by that I mean Enterprise, Voyager, and DS9, there are overarching stories that take place from Season 1, Episode 1, all the way through the last episode of the last season. That is somewhat apparent in the Next Generation, the original series, but not as much. So when you binge watching Star Trek, you can really get that overall picture and that overall story that would just be hard to latch onto if you were to do 1 episode a week for the next 2 years. For example, in Deep Space Nine, you're able to see the progression of the Dominion War and see how it started from little secrets and whispers about the Dominion to an all-out galactic war and resolution and rebuilding of it. I remember seeing this when it first came out on TV, and it was distorted. That's why they always put previously on Star Trek Deep Space Nine. When you're binge watching, you don't need that, because you remember what happened previously on Star Trek Deep Space Nine because you just watched it 40 minutes ago. Finally, reason number 3. It is a lot easier to immerse yourself in the Star Trek universe and have a real emotional connection with the characters than you would have by watching 1 episode a week and pondering about that episode the entire week. You're able to look into their daily lives in a much confined space and get to know them a lot better. There is a real thing, there is a real emotion that is attached to characters that you frequently watch on your television. That's why a lot of vloggers on YouTube have so many followers. People watch those vloggers and they feel like, hey, I feel like I'm hanging out with this guy. And so they come back and they keep watching the show again and again and again. You guys might feel that way towards me, in which case, you're awesome and I love hanging out with you guys. But we also see that with Star Trek and with Star Trek episodes and with a bunch of different TV shows. We feel that emotional connection, and that is a lot easier and more meaningful if you have more contact with that character and with that universe in a more confined space. For example, if you only see somebody once a week for 2 years, yeah, you're going to have a familiarity with that person, and you're going to get to know that person rather well. Well, what if you sat down with that person 2, 3, 4 hours a day for a couple of days? Your contact is going to be a lot more meaningful. You're going to know more about that person, and you're going to retain more because it's a lot more fresh in your mind. Now, Star Trek loves teaching its viewers about all sorts of different things and to show how us as humans can become better, primarily through tolerance, but also through a bunch of different lessons. These lessons are a lot more meaningful if you have a deeper emotional attachment to not only the characters presenting that lesson, but to the universe and the environment that they are in. This is a lot easier to achieve by binge watching every now and then than it is by one episode a week for 2.03 years. Let me know what you guys think about binge watching Star Trek, whether you're for it or against it, and why in the comment section down below. If you like this video, go ahead and subscribe. Great videos like this are coming out every week where I show you it is okay to be a man and a geek at the same frackin' time. If you like Star Trek, go ahead and click on one of these two Star Trek-y videos right here. I would very much recommend this one since it's about my favorite character in all of Star Trek. You can also check out a lot of manliness stuff on the channel page. Because after all, if the women don't find you manly, they should at least find you geeky. And until next time, don't go shaving on me.